start the recording. And yes, it should all be working. Let's just check here. Yes, we are recording. Okay, so we have our webinar after a few computer glitches. These are the challenges of these days of technology, but it's also an incredible new world that we have. So welcome everybody who's here. Thank you for those who've already typed in the chat to say who you are and where you're from. We've got Anne from up in Darwin. Pam, I think you're over in Melbourne, aren't you still? Eleanor, where are you? I think Sydney or Melbourne, not sure. Lincoln from Brisbane. Oh, we got Beth from North Carolina, USA. Debbie from Seattle. Eleanor, Geelong. Okay, excellent. Other people who are here, feel free to type in the chat. Let us know who you are, where you're from. It's nice to have a multicultural group. Pam from Geelong as well as Eleanor. You should catch up. All right, excellent. Let's see, who else do we have here? Anyone else going to type in the chat for us? I've got PJ, don't say where you're from. Oh, from Houston, Texas. Excellent. So this timeline is going to suit mostly people in Australia and people in the US of A. Maybe okay for New Zealand. Not sure if we have any New Zealanders here. Oh, we've got Anne from Perth. Excellent. Hi, Anne. Just down the road from me, it's wet here. I thought the wet was going to interfere with our internet connection. Anyway, so far so good. Let me just get into this because we haven't got very long. Doreen from Virginia. Excellent. Welcome here. All right, we're focusing today on how to help you achieve your MAD business vision. MAD, of course, is my term for making a difference. And I want to help you overcome your fears and whatever's blocking you from being able to grow your business to make more of a difference in the world. So this is really focused on people who have that kind of business. There'll be some stuff to help you regardless of what kind of business you're in. But the focus is to particularly for people who are in MAD businesses. Just the formalities we have to go through, the disclaimer. I won't read it all, but it's just basically information. This is not medical advice, nor am I giving you specific business advice because that would have to take into account your particular personal circumstances. I'm going to be using energy techniques, particularly simple energy techniques, SET, and what I'm calling intention-based energy process, or IEP, otherwise known as YEP, up in Europe. And while those techniques have caused impressive results for other people, they must still be considered experimental. Therefore, you must agree to take full responsibility for your use of them. And if you have mental health issues, you must consult with your doctor or therapist prior to using them. So any business advice is general, and you are responsible ultimately for the results in your business. This call is being recorded. By participating, give permission to being recorded. Of course, if you're only doing the chat or you're only watching, then nothing is being recorded, not by me anyway. I will take questions via the chat at some point. There's a Q&A thing. At one point, I'll open up for questions. And I'm also aiming to coach or volunteer or two if we have time. An hour is not very long. We'll go for a bit over an hour, about an hour and 10 minutes. I'm a little bit late getting started, but I'm happy to go for a few minutes more to make up for that time. If you already know tapping, then you should already be tapping on these acupressure points because you will gain the benefits of an hour of tapping, and you'll also borrow benefits if you tap along when someone else is tapping. Okay, quickly, here's my aim. I want to help you release any resistances that you have to starting your business, to growing your business, to make a bigger difference in the world. I'm going to give you as much information as I can in the time that we have. My aim is to give you the energy techniques, the tapping and the YEP process to help you to change how you feel and then get you into action and doing this stuff, because that's where it's really at. For anyone who doesn't know me, who am I to be offering you this? I've been in personal development since age 17. I had a life-changing experience at age 17. Some of you may know I comprehensively failed my mock exams. Back then, we had to do this thing based on a 2 years of study, and then you do these exams, and then you kind of succeed or fail based on that. You do a mock exam just prior to the end. I failed so badly, I was even surprised myself. And I had a teacher tell me, you'll never recover from that. And part of me actually believed him, but part of me wanted to prove him wrong. And I was very fortunate that my dad had a book called Think and Grow Rich that I managed somehow to just see when I was lying on the lounge one day, which I did a lot of because I was out socializing all the time and drinking and being silly with my friends and wasting my time, really. But when I read that book, I saw that there was a pathway forward, and it really helped me. And you know, I've moved on since then, but it helped me to realize that you can turn things around, and that you can do that quite quickly, because I was able to pass all of my courses, which I shouldn't have been able to do. You know, I shouldn't have been able to recover technically according to that guy. I was able to do that. I then decided I wanted to do that kind of thing and help other people to do that. So I've been just devouring everything in personal development since I was 17 years old. For the first 10 years of my working life, I was helping youth through education, through running a centre for emotionally disturbed children, consulting across the school system. And oh my goodness, I have somebody at the door, and sorry, can't help you. I can't help you, you have to go downstairs. Right in the middle of one of my webinars, I actually have somebody who's coming to access the toilets here, and I'm the only one who has the key for this person. I'm sorry, I'm not going to leave the webinar. I've had it since I started running my business back in 1996. And it's funny, you know, I'm reflecting on this. I was reflecting on the fact that I had there was a day when I had not started my own business. There was a time when I was worried about whether I could run a business. And there was a time, you know, and I know a number of people who are here are going through that experience right now. And I had to back myself. And because I knew that it was all going to be on me. I was actually going to be, I was the full support for my family. We already had one child, Josh, at that time. Not long after that, we had two more. And it was all on me to be able to support my family. But people bandy around the six-figure thing. Yeah, I've had a business which has brought in six figures since 1996, in fact. All of that time, and reasonably high six figures as well. But just because you bring six figures into your business doesn't mean you always take six figures home to your family. This is something that we'll talk about, you know, it's really important to be able to manage that money in a way that allows you to actually enjoy it and to be able to use it. I've included tapping in my business since 1997. I don't know why my Skype thing is coming up, because I got rid of Skype here. Sometimes everything you plan doesn't necessarily work out. So all along the line, I've been able to pay my bills, I've been able to feed my family, I've been able to take them all over the world and get paid to do it. I developed, together with my good friend and colleague, Dr. David Lake, simple energy techniques, provocative energy techniques. I've recently created intention-based energy techniques. I've been able to teach these worldwide in over 12 countries, but most of those, at least 8 of them, I've actually been back repeatedly. I've also been able to consult with people in business across multiple areas of different businesses. And for the past 16 years, I've been teaching peak performance to business owners and business managers at Curtin University Centre for Entrepreneurship. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you an exercise, and I'm going to go and help this guy get access to this thing, because they can't help the plumbing in this building without the key that I'm about to supply him. So I'm going to turn over this. I'm just going to let you read for a moment, and please stay with me. I'll be back in just a moment. Yeah, sorry. No, sorry. I'll wait. I'll be an hour. I'm going to be an hour on this. Yeah. Okay, here's the key. I'm coming back. The best laid plans of mice and men oft go astray. So the man has the access to the plumbing duct so that he can fix the problem with the ladies' toilets in the centre, and everybody will be happy. Okay, so this is some of the challenges that people in business have, and that I see that, let me just stop sharing for a moment, just see how many of you are still here. Oh, you've all stayed. Thank you so much for staying with me. Anybody who came on in the middle of that might have been wondering where I was. Anyway, here we are. So, where were we? We're talking about some of the challenges that you have to overcome in business, and some of the challenges that I see with people in business. And what I see is a lot of people who are kind of like all revved up with no place to go. Like they don't know where to go, they don't know what to do. They know that they want to help people, they know that they want to make a difference, particularly in the world of tapping. You know, there's lots of people who know how to tap, there's lots of people who know how to help people, but just because you know how to tap and you know how to help people and you're a brilliant practitioner doesn't mean you know how to run a business that helps people. And I certainly found that myself. I mean, I came from the world of therapy. You know, I was used to, I had learned something about administration. I was running a centre with staff and all that kind of stuff, but I didn't know how to build a business, and I had resistance to doing it. Particularly for me, I had resistance for marketing. And, you know, I just I didn't want to market. I didn't want to have to market myself. I didn't even like the idea of it. To me, it felt like something sleazy, something, you know, not nice. And the challenge is, if you don't market, you don't have business. And I was very fortunate that I was part of what's a group called National Speakers Association of Australia, part of the International Professional Speaking Federation. I got associated with that group, and through that I got to attend a presentation by a guy who loved marketing. And not only did he help me to see what to do, he helped me to change how I felt. And that's really the most important thing, is to change the feeling that you have. So while we're getting here, I'm curious about what are your greatest challenges in business, in getting your business moving, in either starting your business or growing your business. And just while you're doing that, you know, part of the motivation for me putting this together and bringing my business programs online. I've been running, you know, some of you know I've run the Business Breakthrough program in various places, and my aim is to put that online. And I'm going to be at the end making an offer for people who want to take it up. But I'm going to give you as much as I can in the time that we have that will help you. But I had all these people recently in my newsletter. I just wrote and asked for people what their greatest challenges were, and a whole bunch of them were about business. You know, one person writes, currently I'm not putting much energy into finding more clients and learning how to build stronger business. I want to have a larger impact on people, maybe become a life coach one day. Big dreams and bigger ideas, but maybe I'm just avoiding doing any steps towards any business development. Maybe I fear and procrastination, don't know how to start a business, how to run it, and how to commit to it. Someone else says, I just decided to start a business with tapping. First time I had the idea was 8 years ago, but now I feel I'm ready. But I have the experience that I tend to lose energy flow very abruptly whenever I connect with this idea. And this is what I had about marketing. And if I hadn't got around that guy and got the transfer of feeling and get to understand that marketing at its essence is really about helping people to access the stuff that they really need, then I never would have really been able to build my own business. Someone else, I have concerns about sitting down to my computer and doing the things that need to be done for my business. Someone else, I feel invisible, which leads to feelings of being unworthy, unimportant. This visibility issue is one that I've seen with a lot of people that I've coached, particularly women, but it also can apply to some men. They've been brought up to, you know, children should be seen and not heard, or not even seen or heard. And then that transfers into when you want to put in your business and you need to put yourself out there and need to promote yourself and promote your business. That leads to a massive fear of rejection and stuff like that. Someone else says scarcity thinking. In my business, my doubts surface, my fears come up, I react to perceived rejection, a sense of disappointment when things don't work out as planned. Yeah, you put something out there. You know, I've had this in my business many times. You put something out there, you think it's fantastic, and there's just the sound of crickets. You know, it's just not happening. Someone else says, my therapy practice, to all intents and purposes, non-existent at the point where I'm questioning whether this is what I'm meant to do. I know I'm resisting despite being drawn to it. And this is the thing, is this kind of internal push-pull. And this is the stuff that I want to be able to help you with. Someone else says, basically what I need, Steve, is help moving through this, getting out of my story and being able to put my energy into helping others. That is it right there. Getting out of your story and being able to put your energy in to help others. And so it's releasing attachments to those stories that you really need. Okay, so I'm going to come back in a moment and get from you what some of those challenges are. But meantime, I just want to say, if you're going to change results in business, you've got to know what to do, and then you've got to be able to get yourself to do what you know. And when you have a change of feeling, then you're more open to learning what to do, and doing it becomes easier. That's exactly what happened to me when I got around that guy who loved marketing, because I didn't just get information about what to do, I also got a change in feeling. Now, so you can, sometimes you can just go to someone who has overcome what you need to overcome, and find someone who's successful in the areas you want to be successful, and just get around them and get that change of feeling. But we can also create that change of feeling with the tapping and with the intention-based energy process. So this is my goal, is to help you create that shift in feeling so that you can help more people and make a bigger difference in the world. The other thing is I want to help you to get into action, and sometimes feeling is not enough. But whatever it is, whether it's being able to put the open sign up on your shop or take your business forward in whatever ways, ultimately it's going to come down to managing your emotional state and changing the way you feel about doing this stuff. So here's my good mate, Dave Lake. Anybody who knows him knows that he almost never gets into this kind of emotional state. But when he was in a state like that, I took a photo of him. He's actually hamming it up, really. But it was legitimately down. And so I took a photo of him, and I've showed it all over the world. Some people say if you wear a shirt like he's wearing, you deserve to be depressed. But I don't think that's really being fair to him, do you? Okay, so let's come back and let's see what people have put. Pam says, I want to increase my business tenfold. Debbie says, marketing with auto-responding is feeling pushy and like a used car salesman. Going for energy psychology certification, loving the program, but the marketing is pushing my buttons. Absolutely. And there's different styles of marketing. And for example, the style of marketing that works in the US of A is absolutely poison in Australia. In America, where you need to put yourself forward and you need to say you're brilliant, in Australia, if you say you're too brilliant, then you get the tall poppy syndrome, they call it. You get cut down. Josie says, frozen about moving forward, dislike marketing myself. Well, Josie, you are my volunteer today, and hopefully we are going to get time to do that. So we're going to make sure we get about 10 or 15 minutes to do a little bit of coaching with Josie, who's saying she feels frozen about moving forward in the business. Let's see if we can move some of that frozen energy today. Beth says, doesn't seem professional for a licensed counsellor to market. In fact, in some countries, there are various rules. So like in Australia, as a psychologist, there are various rules that apply to me. In fact, some of you may not know, but I've actually stopped promoting myself as a psychologist in some areas that I don't put myself across as a psychologist. I talk about myself as a peak performance consultant or as a leadership coach, and I'm not promoting a health service, because when you are promoting a health service in this country, there are regulations and rules. Not that I don't want to, well, it's true I don't want to play by all of those rules, but I certainly am going to be ethical in what I put across. And so there's things like that you need to be aware of, what the rules are and regulations in your country, all that kind of stuff. Well, let's see what else we got here. That's Anne, I think, says, I hate the idea of marketing. Also don't know if I've got the talent and skills to do the work I want to do. Visibility is an issue too. Yeah, visibility and marketing can go together. We can have negative associations to all kinds of things. Let me just put this screen back up because I've got some stuff that relates to this. All right, let me see if I can find a way to get this to go where I want it to go. Because what I want it to do is to go to number 13. No, it's not going to do that. Let's see, 1, 3. Here it is. Okay, so when you want to be successful personally in any area, whether it's business or anything, anytime you set a goal, your unconscious blocks rise up as if to try and stop you. People call this the resistance. It's famously given that term by a guy who wrote the book called The War of Art, Stephen Pressfield. And he talks about the resistance that all creators actually go through. And that resistance manifests in procrastination, self-sabotage, and avoidance. It's basically the minute you set a goal to move forward, your blocks come up as if to try and stop you. And overcoming that resistance becomes a challenge for us. Now, that resistance is caused ultimately by fear. We can have fear of failure. We can also have fear of success. It's also caused by unconscious blocking beliefs, which may have arisen from our experiences in the past where we were told what we were and what we were not, what we could do and what we couldn't do. And we learned those experiences mostly through pain. You know, pleasure and pain actually helps us to develop our beliefs, but the ones that are the most meaningful to us often are the ones that we learn through pain. And then we have parts within us that are kind of like having a civil war sometimes, conflicts between our values. Part of us wants this and part of us wants that. Part of us wants to make a difference in the world and part of us wants to live the easy life. And then we have those parts kind of vying for attention. And sometimes the part that wants the easy life wins out repeatedly over the part that wants to make a major difference in the world. Then we get down on ourselves and beat ourselves up and all that kind of stuff. And these are all essentially at their core emotional attachments. And it's releasing those emotional attachments with tools like tapping and yet that is really what we need to do. Now, in business, there's also emotional barriers to success. And if you're not successful in your business, it's bound to be the fact that you have negative associations towards one or more of these. Either the thought of what it's going to be like being successful. In other words, you think about being successful and you think, oh no, that would bring me something bad, or that would be bad, or I'd have to be a bad person, or there's something negative about that. You know, I was on an internet radio show with Carol Look years ago, and I remember this guy, I said, he said, well, if I was successful in business, I'd lose my marriage. I'm like, wow, okay. Well, your version of success is lose-lose, because if you're successful in business, you lose your marriage. If you're successful in the marriage, you don't get to succeed in your business. And this is something that a lot of us have to go through. I certainly had to go through it myself. You know, the conflict between wanting to be there for my family and also being able to be out in the world and make a major difference in the world. And this was compounded by my family experiences of having a father who was a workaholic. And so there was always this kind of push-pull with me associated with that. And I had to really work that out. I had to work out what was most important to me. And I had to work out a way of having all my values serve each other and creating a version of success where I got to be there for my family as well as, and provide for my family as well as make a difference in the world, which is a powerful motivator for me. So you either have a negative towards having the success or towards the process involved in getting it, what you'd have to go through to do that, doing the work. This is where a lot of people have problems. They don't have any problems with the thought of being successful. It's just the fact that they have to do this horrible, dirty, awful work to do it. Or your perceived lack of ability to achieve it or deservingness to have it. I think that's what Anne just mentioned, just feeling like maybe I'm not good enough to do that or whatever, or I don't have the ability to do that. And in most cases, that's just false. Well, it just is. Because anything that you don't have the ability to do, you can learn to do. And so it's really a case of getting over that negative BS, I call it, which is belief systems. Okay, so in business, I've noticed that there are a number of key resistance areas. One is getting started. People have lack of clarity about taking action. Marketing, and that's already been borne out by a number of you, bringing up marketing as your biggest challenge. Doing the writing, preparing the websites, writing blogs, articles, and putting offers out there. Networking and getting out there and promoting yourself. Sales, people have reluctance making the call, making the contact, asking for the sale. And money, oh, this is a big one, charging what your products and services are worth. is not what you are worth. People say this all the time. It's about, they're like, oh, I want to get paid what I am worth. No, no, no. It's actually about what it's worth to the other person and what your services and so on will do for them. If you make it about you, then you measure your self-worth based on your money. And so people have all kinds of negative, hooks and stuff like that in themselves about this being about you, and you are your net worth, basically. And that's absolutely false, because it's as you know, there's plenty of people with massive net worths who are not very nice people. There's also plenty of people with massive net worths who are very nice people. There's plenty of people with not very large net worths who are bad people and or good people as well. So it's not about you. It's about being able to charge what this is worth, and being able to get out of that thing of making it all about you and how good you are and so on, and really about how good it is for the client and what that's worth for them. And this is what I like to focus on. We have time, we'll do that today. And then it's about managing the finances to be able to be successful. And then it's about getting help. Now, there's a whole lot of other stuff, in business and business areas, but these are some of the key ones that have come up. And so, this is a kind of similar question to what I asked you before. What are the key resistance areas in your business? What are the things that you resist? And we're going to get into those with tapping. For those of you who don't know our simple tapping approach, let's just see if I can make myself a little bit larger here. I can. Just because what I'd like to do is I'll actually go through these with you. Obviously, we use the same points as in EFT. In SET, we tap on the side of the eyebrow, on the side of the eye, under the nose, under the chin, under the collarbone, under the arm, and then on the side of the thumb, side of the index finger, side of the middle finger, side of the ring finger, side of the little finger, and side of the hand, and also on the wrist points, and also on the top of the head. Now, in our approach of SET, you can tap on any of these in any order, and you're going to get emotional relief. And what we see is that you can actually focus on anything you want as well. That is however you understand the problem. So you can focus on, if you had an issue with marketing, for someone when they think about marketing, they get a horrible feeling. Well, you can just focus on the horrible feeling and tap. If you think about marketing and you get a horrible image, or an idea of a sort of sleazy type of person or whatever it is, you can focus on that and you can tap. And then you can just follow whatever happens and take the tapping to that. We're going to use some tapping in a moment, and because most of the people who are watching this are familiar with tapping, I'm not going to go into it in any more detail. I'll just show you how we use it with these particular issues. And when I say we, I'm talking about myself and Dr. David Lake, because he and I jointly developed Simple Energy Techniques. Now, he is living the high life at the moment. He's pretty much retired. He does about one day a week. If you live in Sydney or you visit Sydney, you can still get an opportunity to work him on that one day that he's work with him on that one day that he's working. But other than that, it's it's very rare that you'll get to see him anymore, unfortunately. But he and I jointly developed this, and so yeah, that's what I mean when I say we. Now, apart from this, I developed an approach which I put myself down here. I call intention-based energy process, and we use in this process we give specific commands to the subconscious mind to release our emotional attachments to negative beliefs, hurtful experiences, unhealthy behavior patterns, etc., etc. And we also give an intention or direction to the subconscious mind to restore our energy back to flow and bring us back to a place of emotional clarity and balance. And it works a treat. It's something I discovered, about 18 months ago now. It also allows you to reconnect with your inner resources, and I like to combine it with tapping. So what I'd like to do is to show you how to do this. Meantime, here are the two main statements that we use in YET. We use two particular intention statements. The first one is, I release all my emotional attachments to X. X equals the problem, the event, the image, the belief, the thought, the word marketing or whatever it is, whatever you associate to that. And then you use this releasing statement combined with tapping, and you're going to notice that that things start to happen internally when you do that. The other thing is that when you have a problem, you'll have an area in the body which is disturbed. It might be the chest, it might be the throat, it might be the mouth, it might be the stomach, it might be arms, legs, it could be anywhere in the body. And you can form a deliberate, specific intention to restore the right energy flow to any particular body area that's disturbed. So what I might do is come back to the group, and I'm going to ask my volunteer. Let me actually hang on, Josie. I've got 3 things in the Q&A here. Selena asking, are we going to be able to see a replay? Yes, technology willing, we will be able to see a replay. Eleanor says, biggest problem, getting customers, no referrals. Feel like I can work my butt off and get nowhere. I'm not connecting with clients well. Yeah, okay, so this is a matter of not just looking at your process, but also starting with the feelings associated with that, because you want to be able to be open to having another go, and you also want to be open to seeing what else is possible for you. And sometimes we're trying, but we're only trying in one way, and so it's opening up to other possibilities. And the information about how to do that is out there, and so it's a matter of opening up to those possibilities, and being able to do that is actually starts with a change of feeling. All right, so where are we at now? I might do our coaching session with Josie. Then I'm going to come back and I'll give you some business info. But I think if we actually do a session where we're doing a bit of tapping along and we're doing a bit of releasing, then we might clear energy for a lot of people in the group. For those of you who know, when you tap on these points yourself, while somebody else is working on an issue, even if you don't have an issue with that thing itself, you can find that things clear for you as well. And I've found this with people all over the world, in all the countries that I've worked. It works a treat. So what I can do here is I should be able to allow Josie to become like a host with me and promote you to panelist, which means that I can actually, right, here you are, Josie. Now we have your image on the screen. Let's see if we can do better than that and get you on here with your video. Okay. Now, I believe, Josie, you should actually be able to speak if I unmute you. Can you do that?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can just hear you.
Yes, all right.
Now, are you able to switch your video on, or is it not allowing you that yet?
No, it's not allowing me to. It says that you've done it. You've switched it off.
Well, I haven't actually, but...
Oh, it says you can't start your video because the host has stopped it.
Here we go. I just fixed it.
Thanks.
All right. So we should be seeing you in a second. Now, if everybody else who's watching along, if you can just watch along for now and tap along on these points. If you don't know the process, then just trust me, I'm a psychologist. Yeah. If you just tap on these points along with us. Now, often when, as you know, Josie, oh, you just froze on my screen there. I'm hoping that you'll come through still. Can you speak and let me know if you're still there?
It's frozen. It was frozen.
Okay. Well, you're back now. This is the challenges with technology. Sometimes it happens on my end, sometimes it happens on your end, and sometimes it's just mysteries of the cyber universe. I was just going to say, often we teach people to do this tapping so that you use the thumb of the same hand to tap on the finger points of the same hand. And so sometimes if I'm sitting here like this, you can't see that I'm tapping on those points, but I will be tapping the whole time. And we like to do continual tapping, so I'm going to ask you to tap along the whole time. And every now and then I might check that you're doing that, or I might ask you to tap on some of the upper body points just to see where we're at. Okay, so you said you feel frozen in moving ahead in your business. What's that about?
Yeah. I think it's relating to my sister when she passed away, but I didn't realise that I had the same energy around her being frozen when she passed away.
Okay, so this
I've done a lot of work on it.
This is a connection that you've made, which may or may not be something in your business. I'm not sure. How do you know that's stopping you in your business? Like, it's something that you need to work on. I have no question about that. But I want to make sure that today we help you in your business. So I want to make sure. So whatever happens here, I want you to go and work on that somewhere else. Okay.
Great.
You know, yeah.
Yeah. When you said before, if I was successful, something about you're saying, if I was successful, what would I have to give up? Or what would it would be, I'd have to work harder. I'd have to work really hard. And I'm already working really hard. And I don't want to work any harder.
Yeah, this is what people think, you know, like, oh my God, in order to be, if this is how hard I have to work to be this successful, I'd have to work that hard to be that successful. I wouldn't even get any sleep.
That's how it feels.
Yeah. But someone who earns $10 million isn't working 10 times as hard as someone who earns $1 million. And they're not working 100 times as hard as someone who earns, what is it? You know, $100,000. And they're not working whatever, you know what I mean? You can't work 100 times as fast as hard because you don't have enough time to do 100 times the work. So they've found ways to leverage what they do and have what they do pay off, okay? So this is the logic, okay? But that logic doesn't help you when you've got the emotions blocking you, okay? So when you think about the hard work that you'd have to do to become successful, what happens to you?
I don't want to do it.
Okay.
All right.
So I notice that you are.
Don't do it.
Okay. So just say, I release all my emotional attachments.
I release all my emotional attachments.
To I'd have to work a lot harder to be more successful.
To I have to work a lot harder to be more successful.
Okay. Now just let that do whatever it does for a moment. Don't try and make something happen. Just notice what happens in your mind or body or both. Okay. When you just let that settle. And what comes up next?
Just sensing it inside.
Mm-hmm. And what are you sensing?
Some resistance.
Okay, where is the resistance?
In my gut, solar plexus.
All right. So just say, I restore the right energy flow to my solar plexus.
I restore the right energy flow to my solar plexus.
And then just let it do what it does. Don't try and make anything happen. Just keep tapping on the points, you know, any points, and just notice what happens to that feeling. Okay, and what's it doing?
Had a shift. It feels lighter.
Mm-hmm.
It's not as intense as it was earlier. It's just very, very subtle now.
Yeah, okay. So sometimes when you use that restoring energy statement, you don't get a shift because really the hooks are coming from something. But other times you use it, if it works, just go with it, okay? So let's go back to your thing about working hard. Tell me about that. How do you know?
Because I get up really early and I feel guilty about having fun. I feel guilty.
Okay. So the reality isn't about, can you believe it? The guy who's doing the work next door is drilling into the wall. I shouldn't have let him in. I should have said, no, you stay out. We're not going to get that done today. I'm doing a webinar. But anyway, I felt sorry for him and I had to run away and give him the thing. So let's just go through it. I assume it won't be as bad for you as it is for me.
It's all right.
Okay, so this is part of your own BS, your own belief systems about, and also your internal conflict between having fun versus working, okay? So just say, I release all my emotional attachments.
I release all my emotional attachments.
To if I'm successful, I won't have any fun.
To if I'm successful, I won't have any fun.
See, she's nodding, right? That means yes.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, there's a yes connection to that belief, right? Which is BS, because in fact, if you weren't going to have more fun, why would you want to be successful?
That's right.
And why would you even call that success? If fun is important to you, why wouldn't you include fun in your success vision? By the way, what is your success vision?
When I think of my success vision, I go into a freeze. I think, oh my God, I just can't even visualize it.
Yeah. Well, and the reason why is because it's a nightmare, not a vision. At the moment.
Yeah, that's true.
So just say I release all my emotional attachments.
I release all my emotional attachments
To my success nightmare.
to my success nightmare.
Now, unconsciously, you know what that is, but I can predict, there you are, you're just flat out, you're working your tail off, you're busy the whole time and you don't have any fun.
That's right.
Well, that sucks. Why would you want that? Okay.
I don't want.
So you've created this idea of success, and because that idea has got pain linked to it, you're trying to say to your nervous system, let's go forward and have some more pain. And your nervous system is saying, no, I don't want it.
No way.
Right? Exactly. Okay.
Get that.
Back away when you think about that, right? So your problem is actually that you don't realize that you can have what you want in your success vision. And somewhere along the line, you learned that you're not allowed to have that. Okay. So who told you that you're not allowed to have fun?
My mum.
Okay. So just say, I release all my emotional attachments.
I release all my emotional attachments.
To my mother's version of success.
To my mother's version of success.
All work and no play makes Josie's business dull, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm not saying that there isn't work required, but it doesn't all have to be hard, and it obviously doesn't have to be a lot more, because there's plenty of people that are being successful with a lot less. Okay.
Yeah.
A certain amount of work is needed. Certain amount of that. Sorry, I'm just hearing a in the wall. Having an auditory preference makes it a little bit disturbing.
I think I've got it outside.
You've got one as well. Oh, we have.
Someone's bringing the bins in.
We're on opposite sides of Australia, and there's noise in the background. Okay, so just say I release. Oh, well, this is for me and you. Just say I release all my emotional attachments.
I release all my emotional attachments.
To all the background noise.
To all the background noise.
Yeah. Because and some of this stuff in your thing is like background noise. It's just, too much stuff. And some of it's important, but some of it is just noise, And this is a problem in businesses. We have trouble focusing on the really important things. So when it comes to business vision, I say you need to set a vision for your business, but you should start with a vision for your life. And this is the problem that you're making. You're trying to set a vision for your business that doesn't take into account your life. It doesn't take into account what you need from life and what's important to you. So if your business doesn't serve your life, it's the wrong business. Okay, so what's important for you in your life?
Having fun in my business.
Okay, having fun. What else is important for you?
Sorry?
What else is important to you?
Health.
Health.
Family.
Yep.
Finances, making good money, helping people.
Okay, so now this is for anyone who knows me, you know that this is about values. And so the personal work is not completely separate from the business work. You get clear on what values are important to you in your life, and then some of those values are going to be served by your business. And if your business isn't serving some of your important values, then you've got the wrong kind of business. Okay, so you said finances is important to you, but it's not the money, it's what money gives you. What does money give you, or what do you need it for?
I needed to have fun. I
Mhm.
needed for my dancing. I needed to eat and pay my bills.
Yep.
Yeah, to enjoy life,
Okay.
travel.
So it relates to fun, it relates to enjoyment, it also relates to some of the things that you need, which I would call security needs. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm curious about this question for you. What's more important, freedom or security? Now
I
you're
think
still tapping, right?
security. Yes. I think it's security.
Yeah. Okay. So this is why you kind of are stuck in the business also, because you've got maybe some security fears. Okay. So I think there's the part of you that wants to have fun and that wants to be freer is fighting with the part of you that needs to be secure and needs to know. And fair enough. You need to know that you're going to be able to eat, right?
For sure.
And you're relying on your business?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that means that there's probably some parts of you that are projecting fear, like you not eating or whatever unless you work hard, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So just say this. Just say, I release all my emotional attachments
I release all my emotional attachments
to the fantasy of being poor.
to the fantasy of
Being
being
poor.
poor.
Yeah. But maybe you had some past experiences of that.
That was my mum too. Yeah.
Okay. So those fantasies that you're creating about you failing maybe and being poor are driven by actual experiences where you had the feelings of that. Or your mum had the feelings of that.
Yes, definitely.
Did you have her
That's
or
why
did your mum?
well, I think I've taken them on board, but it was hers. But that's why she left Italy, because there wasn't any food.
Okay. So just say, I release all my emotional attachments
I release all my emotional
to
attachments
my mother's poverty feelings
to my mother's poverty feelings
and my mother's poverty mentality
and my mother's poverty mentality
and my mother's poverty messages.
and my mother's
Poverty messages.
poverty messages.
We're kind of wrapping up a lot in one go there, but just tap and notice what that does.
Feels clearer.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So just scan through your body and notice if there's still some of that disturbance or any of that solar plexus feeling or.
Only slightly in the solar plexus.
Okay, so as long as there is, as you know, there's always a bit more to do. So just
Yes.
say once more, just say, I restore the right energy flow to my solar plexus.
I restore the right energy flow to my solar plexus.
And again, don't try and make this do anything, just notice what happens.
Mm-hmm. Feels good.
Yeah. So for anybody who's been watching, each time I've used that restoring energy flow one, she's done a kind of sigh, an intake of breath. I think you've breathed maybe a bit deeper. I'm not sure if you're aware of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I am. Yes.
Yeah.
Just feels like it's free. I'm feeling freer of it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now let's have a look at your business.
I know. I can't wait. And I can wait. No, is it good to say I can't wait? No, I'm excited.
Okay. So if you think about your business right now, how do you feel? How much of that frozen?
I'm not feeling frozen now.
Okay. What about if you think about creating a vision for your business?
I think I can do that too.
Yeah. Okay. So I would say I'd call that about 80% yes. So there's still a little bit of unsureness, maybe there's some other things hooked in there, like doing it right or getting it right or something else that's, or there's something that we haven't fully cleared, but it's much more yes than no now.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
feeling a lot Yeah.
You know, I have 100% yes, right? And the aim is to be able to be 100% yes. But even if you're 80% yes, my mentor, Alan Weiss, said if it's 80% good, it's good to go, you know? And for a perfectionist, that's the way you got to think. Because otherwise you spend all your time trying to make it 81, 82, you know, 99, and the end user can't tell the difference.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steve.
All right. Well, thank you very much for being my guinea pig today. So I'm just going to see what can I do here. I'll just take off your video. I think I can mute you. Thank you. Ciao. Now I just need to know how to do this thing. Okay, so I'm just changing your role back to viewer. So, all right, back to me. All right, so for some of you who are very new to the process that I've just demonstrated, it's going to seem a little bit strange that a few minutes of tapping and just a few intention statements should actually create those big shifts. But you would be surprised what you can do with this incredible combination of using intention. Your unconscious mind will do what you direct it to do. You just need to know how to do that. And people say, well, I've tried that with affirmations. This is very different to affirmations. This process is actually not about creating emotional attachments. This process is about releasing emotional attachments so that you can be free to move forward in what areas that you want to move forward. All right, so let me just do this. I want to just come back to sharing the screen. Just for those of you who need a quick review, write down these statements if you haven't done it already. I release all my emotional attachments to X. X is whatever's hooking you. The problem, the event, the image, the belief, the thought, the person, the memory, whatever it is that you are having an emotional reaction to. And then the other statement is I restore the right energy flow to Y, and Y is the particular body area that you need to change. Okay, so let me just come back to just give me a few minutes on what can help you to be more successful in your business and more successful in your life. I love this essay that a guy named Gray wrote a number of years ago, and he actually looked at his area and said, what is it that successful people do that other people don't do? And he said they have the habit of doing the things that unsuccessful people don't like to do. They don't necessarily like doing them either, but their disliking is subordinated to the strength of their purpose. So it's crucial if you're going to be able to get yourself to do the things that you want to do, you've got to start with purpose, you've got to start with a compelling vision, and you've got to have clear values which give you the reasons why. This also applies when they look at what makes companies successful. You know, in Build to Last, Collins and Porras actually found that those businesses that lasted, the ones that were visionary companies, were committed to their core values and they had an enduring purpose. And so while their operating practices and their business strategies changed over the time, they stuck with their core values. It's really important to start with values and vision, basically, with your business, and get a vision which is inspiring to you and release any blocks. Just this is what Josie needs to do. She's created a negative vision rather than what she really wants, rather than saying, hey, what do I really want in my life? And therefore, what do I really want my business to provide for me? And creating a vision based on that, and then allowing your values, the things that are really important to you, to drive you and to drive your business. Just some content information. When people get into business, one of the things that they don't realize is that a business needs to be made up of at least 3 different people. Now, this comes from a book called The E-Myth. If you want to go and buy an excellent business that can help you in your a book that can help you in your business, by Michael Gerber. And he says that entrepreneurs don't start companies. The people who start companies are technicians, the people who do the work, and they think, oh, I can do the work, I'll start a business doing the work. But then they don't know how to run a business, because the technician, the one who does the work, shouldn't be running the business. The business needs an entrepreneur, the kind of person who sets the vision, and the business needs a manager to manage the work getting done, and then it needs technicians to do the work. Now, if you're the only person in your business, then you need to split your personality into these 3 parts and allow yourself to become visionary at times, allow yourself to work out how to manage the work so that it gets done most effectively and most efficiently, and so on, and also work out how the work is going to get done. Now, the challenge, of course, comes that sometimes you're not good at one or other of these. And if the entrepreneur's the only one who's running the business, then great ideas, but nothing actually gets done. If the technician's running the business, then you just work, but you never actually work out how to get more money, or you never work out how to leverage what you do. If the manager's running the business, then you've got all these great systems, but no, who's doing the work, and what's the vision and where are we going? And it's not exciting. So ultimately you need all three. And again, if it's you need to split your personality and allow space for each of those parts. And if there's blocks against any of those parts coming forth, that's something that you can use the tapping for. So I say with vision, you create a vision of the life that you want and you design your business to serve that. And this vision is actually the vision out of my friend Dave Lake's parents' place. It's inspiring to me, not because I love Sydney. Sydney's a really busy place. I much prefer it over here in Perth. But I love the fact that they were able to live where they wanted to live, in a beautiful place. And they were able to follow, Max was able to follow his passion for wine and create fine wine. And, through the fact that I met Dave Lake, I was able to appreciate good wine. And through the fact that Dave Lake was brought up by his family in that particular way, I got to meet him and so on. And so I think, ultimately, they are examples of someone who has a big vision that was successful. As is, in big business, someone like Walt Disney, who had a vision of helping people. But what we might not know is that was because his father worked him, and he never really had a childhood. So his vision actually came out of his wounds to be able to help people to have enjoyment. And, his vision was not so much about the structures of Disneyland and Disney World. It was actually about the happy families and the children enjoying life. Your business vision should inspire you, and it should lead to you making a difference. And I certainly think you'd agree that someone like Walt Disney has certainly helped us through his vision to manifest that, made a massive difference in the world. And you might want to help people differently. You might just want to coach people. You might want to consult with people. You might want to present workshops to people. Whatever it is, your vision has to be inspiring to you. And then it also has to be based around your values and what's most important to you. Quick little bit more of content. We are going to run out of time. So let me just give you a few things for developing a peak performance business. Number one, you start with vision. And as I've said, you don't just start with vision for the business, you start with vision for your life, and you work out what's important to you in your life, what's your vision for your life, the kind of lifestyle you want to have, your values, your purpose, and your needs. And then you work on the business to produce that. Michael Gerber, as I mentioned, he's one person who's famous for saying that you should work on your business, not just in it. If you spend all your time just working in your business and never step back and say, where is this business going? What are we creating? How are we going to get there? You need to develop some kind of plan, but I'm telling you, you don't have to have some of these big, long-winded business plans. You just start with a basic plan and get started, ready or not. Use the tapping and the YEP process to work through your emotional barriers. Learn some good business practices. It's worth learning a few basics from your accountant, about financial management. It's good actually finding some people you can trust to learn about, some basics of marketing and selling. And learning the way that people do it that already works is a great thing to do. You've got to learn to manage risk. As I mentioned, if the rules in your country say that you're not allowed to call if you're not allowed to, for example, a lot of people say, they're doing energy psychology, but in some countries that could mean that you are holding yourself out to be a psychologist. So you've got to manage those kind of risks, and you've got to be able to know what the rules are. But you've also got to plan for growth, because growth is actually what will motivate you and inspire you. And then ultimately along the way, you've got to learn and adapt to things that change. One of the quickest ways you can get results is to go and find someone who's already been successful and learn from them. Find people who've been successful in the areas that you want to be successful, model what they do, and you can be successful too. In our country, we have, I was talking to my wife, there's some great philanthropists. Andrew Forrest over here has just given $400 million for philanthropy, and it's a fantastic thing that he's doing. And another person I really admire is someone named Dick Smith, and he set up an electronics company years ago, And in order to learn what to do, he traveled over to America and he looked at what people were doing over there, and he traveled over to the UK and he looked at what people were doing there, and he just came back to Australia and replicated what other people were doing that was successful. And it led to him developing a highly successful business. And one of his key things that he tells people is just find out what the successful people are doing and do that. You do not have to reinvent the wheel. Get yourself a coach and mentor. Don't accept just anyone. Seek people who have been and are successful in the areas that you want to be successful. One final thing, because we're going to run out of time, just in terms of content, is identity, the way you see yourself, your beliefs about yourself, the kind of person you are, what you're capable of, and so on. There's also an identity for your business. And so, if you want to do something really helpful, write down how you would define your business right now, as in your business's current identity, how you see your business, what you see your business being like right now, even if it's non-existent, put that down, and then create the identity that you would like your business to have. And then that can become the vision towards which you move, because one of the quickest ways to change your results is to change your identity and put out there a different identity for your business, the identity that you want. Okay, now I'm hopeful, and I hope you don't mind now, we've gone for an hour, and I just want to take a few minutes to tell you what I've prepared for those of you who want to follow up with me. If you don't mind me doing that, I'd like to just spend a couple of minutes doing that. I've created a program called Mad Business Breakthrough. This is an online version of my workshops, my business breakthrough workshops. Those workshops have been highly successful with the people that have done them. Plus, I've done some personal development online programs, and a number of people in those programs have been saying, I want to help with developing my business. And those that have had really great results. So my aim is to bring this to you in a program online. I want to help you to create a compelling vision for your business, which is a yes, 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 100% yes, rather than a yes, no, or a yes, maybe, or a, I don't know. And get over those things that might be blocking you from having a vision which actually is something that you want to move towards and that you're drawn towards, rather than one you have to force yourself to do. We're going to use tapping. We're going to use the YEP process to help you to release your emotional blocks and your inner barriers to success. We're going to help you to clarify what values are important to you, the essentials that you need for your life that have to be served by your business. And I'm going to help you to learn the keys to success in any business and help you build a plan for that success and start to put it into action. I am not by any means the top of the wazza in terms of business, but I've learned that those who are in third grade can help those who are in second grade, and those who are in second grade can help those who are in first grade. So I'm going to help you to learn some skills in managing your business, marketing and promoting your business and yourself, selling your services, managing your finances, and building systems to the extent that I know. And I'm also going to bring in some stuff from other people that I've learned from to help you in those areas as well. I want to help you to overcome inertia, procrastination, core reluctance, self-sabotage, all the stuff which may be destroying your business and stopping you from having the kind of life that you want to have. And the other thing is, in this program, you're going to get to network with a group of mad people, all people who want to make a difference in the world, and the great synergy of that and the relationships that people develop. I had this in my Go For It program. Those people are still relating to each other, and we have a heap of fun. I'm going to offer it as live coaching. So you'll be doing live group video coaching. It won't be webinar like this. I will certainly do things like today where I share content, and I will I'll share my screen, I'll give you information and so on. I'll also do live coaching via video, so that this is actually like being in a workshop and people can relate to each other. And in this program, I'm going to give you 7 live group coaching calls. Now, just for those of you who need to know the dates, I'm offering 2 different times. It's going to be this time, which is 9 a.m. Perth time, which is the day before in the US. So we are starting on the 4th of July, but it'll be the 3rd of July in the USA. We'll start off with a bang over here. It'll be the 4th of July for us, but it'll be the 3rd of July in the US. The first 3 sessions are going to be weekly, and we're going to really get into the content. And then the next 3 sessions are going to be fortnightly as you start to put some stuff into action. And then there's going to be another session a month later, just to follow up with you to make sure that you are doing it and check in on how everybody is going. So it's a live program. It's online. I want to help you really make a big difference in your life and your business. I'm offering 10 and a half hours of live coaching with me. In my individual coaching, you get 6 45-minute sessions, and that costs around $2,000. In this case, you're going to get 7 90-minute sessions with me. You'll have a lot of me, I'll tell you. You're going to get the recordings of each session, and I'm going to allow you to also get the recordings for the other session. Sometimes what I found is that when I do 2 different times, I present a little bit of different information. So, you know, some people value seeing the coaching that I did with other people, and there's going to be 21 hours of video that you're going to be able to review if you want to, or you can just review the video related to your session. And we're going to set up a private Facebook group specific to the people in this, so that everybody can support each other and get feedback on their ideas and what they're doing and how they're moving their business forward. The regular rate for the program is going to be $5.99. I'm offering an early bird of $4.99, and for the first 20 places is going to be $3.99. This is starting now. I will tell you that I just put this out ahead of time to my Go For It group. I've had 3 people take up places already in that, but it's $3.99 for the first 20 places. As of this moment, it's on EFTdownunder.com/business-breakthrough-online/. You will actually, hopefully when this finishes, if the technology works, those of you who are on the line will get taken to that place. But anybody who's watching this on video later, you can go to EFTdownunder.com/business-breakthrough-online with a dash between each of those words. And hopefully you'll access one of those places. I will also let you know that's Australian dollars. So I don't know what that is in US dollars, but it's a lot less. May only be about around $300 US. I should have actually checked the exchange, but I had a bit of trouble with my internet this morning. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope that you found some things that will help you with your business. I hope you go away and use the tapping, and I hope you go away and use the intention process and try it out on some of the stuff associated with your business. And I'd love to get your feedback and hear from you. Our time is up for today. I want to thank you very much for being with me. I appreciate that you've spent an hour and a quarter of your time with me. So thank you so much. Thanks, PJ, and everyone else who stayed with me. Everybody has stayed with me. Thank you so much for having stayed with me. I really appreciated your time this morning. All right, and we'll stop the recording. We'll say ciao for now. Bye-bye.